Summary of The Edge written by David Baldacci. Chapter 1. Travis Devine, a former U.S. Army Ranger, found himself on a high-speed train hurtling through the picturesque landscapes from Geneva to Milan, a journey that would take an unexpected turn into the realm of danger and intrigue. The Astoro tilt train operated by Trenitalia provided a luxurious and comfortable setting, with passengers immersed in their routines, napping, working, or indulging in the scenic beauty outside. Little did they know that within the confines of their seemingly serene surroundings, a clandestine drama was about to unfold. Devine, with his well-honed situational awareness, sensed an undercurrent of danger. The train, with its maximum speed of 200 kilometers per hour, offered a silky smooth ride through the Swiss Alps, verdant valleys, and immaculate vineyards. However, none of the 100-plus passengers, except for Devine, contemplated the possibility of facing imminent peril. Seated in a first-class compartment, upholstered in brown leather, Devine observed the world within the train car with a hawk-like precision. He had codenamed 3 fellow passengers as Alpha, Bravo, and Charlie, individuals who, in his trained eyes, were potential adversaries. The journey from Geneva to Milan, usually filled with breathtaking scenery and serene landscapes, had become a potential battlefield for Devine. The scenic beauty outside, featuring snow-capped Swiss Alps, lush valleys, pristine lakes, and quaint European villages, held no allure for Devine. His attention was focused on Alpha and Bravo, 2 men in thick overcoats sitting together, and Charlie, a woman on the other side of the aisle. Devine's instincts, honed through years of military training, detected subtle cues, target glances, nervous movements, and the potential concealment of weapons. Devine, with his keen observational skills, checked his watch. The Astoro tilt train was an express ride, promising a journey of just under 4 hours. 90 minutes remained, both for the trip and potentially for Devine's survival. His escape from Geneva had left no room for flexible travel times, and the first-class car, despite its usual comforts, was sparsely populated. The attendants had already checked tickets, leaving Devine alone with his thoughts and the palpable tension in the air. The rule of 3, a trio of abnormal behaviors, signaled to Devine that a plan was necessary to ensure his safety. The men never removed their overcoats, kept their hands in their pockets, and exhibited target glances. They hadn't left their seats, and there were no signs of food or drink at their tables. Devine's well-honed instincts were on high alert. Amidst the beauty of the European landscapes passing by, Devine's mind was engaged in a different landscape, the one inside the train car. He had gotten up a couple of times, ostensibly to use the bathroom and get some food in the dining car. Each time, he assessed his surroundings, keeping a close eye on his gear bag, strategically placed on a luggage rack behind him. On the third check of his gear bag, Devine noticed something amiss. The zipper was slightly out of place, and in the right light, he saw the whorls of a thumbprint on the pull tab, a thumbprint that didn't belong to him. His senses heightened, and he brought up his phone to track the train's journey. The Simplon tunnel loomed ahead, a critical point in the route. Sending a high-priority message to an undisclosed party, Devine checked his watch once more. The train, now speeding through the picturesque scenery, had become a potential battleground, and Devine was prepared for the confrontation that lay ahead. The 3 adversaries, Alpha, Bravo, and Charlie, were now categorized in Devine's mind as potential threats. Exiting the Swiss town of Brig, the train approached the 12-mile-long Simplon tunnel, a historic landmark that connected Switzerland and Italy. Devine, not interested in the tunnel's history but focused on its significance in the current context, prepared for the impending confrontation. As the train entered the tunnel, Devine felt the tension escalate. The confined space, enhanced by the darkness and the rhythmic sounds of the train, created an atmosphere charged with anticipation. Devine, clad in a parka, rose from his seat and strode purposefully towards the toilet in the connecting vestibule. His combat training kicked in as he initiated combat breathing. Inhale for a 4 count, hold for 4, exhale for 4, and hold for 4. This ritual was a method to prevent his sympathetic nervous system from overwhelming him, maintaining his focus and physical readiness for the impending encounter. Passing by Charlie, who seemed engrossed in her sketching, Devine glimpsed at her drawing. It provided a partial confirmation of his suspicions. However, the real proof was yet to come. Devine entered the toilet, and a few moments later, the door opened and closed. The narrative intensified as Alpha and Bravo, sensing the opportune moment, rose from their seats. Suppressors were screwed onto German-made machine pistols concealed in their overcoats. In the confined space of the vestibule, the suppressed rounds were fired through the flimsy toilet door. Devine, having allowed them to empty their weapons, now became the predator. In a swift and fluid motion, he incapacitated Bravo, leaving him lifeless on the floor. Alpha, still in a state of panic, attempted to reload his weapon but was met with a series of calculated moves from Devine. Elbow strikes to the cervical spine, eye gouges, and a relentless assault incapacitated Alpha. Now in control, Devine dragged the bodies and their weapons into the toilet, securing the scene. The threat had been neutralized, but the aftermath left Devine reflecting on the consequences of his actions. His decision to spare Charlie, the woman who had seemingly been engrossed in her sketching, lingered in his mind. Exiting the train at Stresa, the last station before Milan, Devine's contemplation continued. The text he had sent earlier paid dividends as a black sedan picked him up, ready to transport him to his next destination. As the train receded into the distance, the uncertainty of whether he had made the right choice in sparing Charlie remained. The narrative concluded with Devine wondering about the consequences of his decisions. The tension of the train journey had subsided, but the shadows of clandestine missions and the moral complexities of his actions lingered. The story hinted at future missions awaiting Devine and left readers contemplating the thin line between survival and morality in a world of espionage and danger. Chapter 2. In a modest, outdated office situated within a 1960s-era strip mall in Annandale, Virginia, the air was thick with tension as Emerson Campbell, a retired Army two-star, and Travis Devine, a former Ranger, engaged in a conversation that would propel them into a high-stakes mission. The setting was far from glamorous, but the gravity of their discussion made the surroundings inconsequential. Emerson Campbell, a man with closely cropped, gunmetal gray hair and weathered features reflecting a lifetime of discipline and professionalism, was visibly discontent. As a retired Army officer and a Ranger with a tab and scroll, he had experienced the crucible of warfare, enduring both conventional conflicts and covert operations shrouded in secrecy. Now, seated in an unremarkable office, he wore an expression that mirrored the weight of his experiences. Travis Devine, a former Ranger with a shared background, sat across the desk from Campbell, absorbing the atmosphere. The conversation unfolded, revealing snippets of their military past, including service in the elite 75th Ranger Regiment. The dialogue touched upon an incident involving two Kazakh assassins found dead on a train, a scenario that had attracted the attention and ire of the Italian and Swiss governments. As Campbell elaborated on the details, Devine, with his Ranger instincts, inquired about the woman who had escaped the ordeal. Campbell, recounting the events, indicated that she had managed to recover and leave the scene. The conversation took a reflective turn as Devine expressed a tinge of regret for not eliminating the unconscious woman, considering the potential threat she might pose. However, the narrative swiftly shifted gears, as Campbell introduced a new mission, one that would test Devine's skills and resilience. The focus turned to Jennifer Silkwell, the daughter of Senator Curtis Silkwell, a former CIA operative with a tragic end in Maine. The transition from the geopolitical chessboard to a deeply personal matter marked a pivotal moment in the conversation. Campbell, the retired Army officer with a facade of stoicism, revealed a personal connection to the Silkwell family. He divulged that Jennifer, the victim of the recent murder, was not merely a statistic. She was someone he had held in his arms as a baby. The emotional revelation added layers of complexity to the mission, injecting a personal motivation for Campbell beyond the realm of duty. Divine, now fully engaged in the gravity of the situation, received a briefing on Jennifer Silkwell's background. A former CIA operative with a specialization in field operations, Jennifer had climbed the ranks swiftly and served as a liaison to the White House for Central Intelligence. The details of her career painted a picture of a highly talented and valuable asset to the nation. The revelation of Jennifer's murder, occurring merely 4 days prior in her old hometown in Maine, cast a somber mood over the conversation. Divine, reading through the briefing on his phone, absorbed the details meticulously, a skill ingrained in him through military training where thorough comprehension was non-negotiable. The murder investigation brought forth numerous questions. Who killed Jennifer Silkwell? Why was she targeted? What information did she possess that led to her demise? The urgency heightened as Campbell emphasized the need to determine if her death was connected to sensitive national security matters. In the midst of this, the narrative took an unexpected turn with the mention of a unique element, the murder weapon. A polymer-cased .300 Norma mag round left at the crime scene became a focal point of discussion. Campbell, revealing his knowledge of military ordnance, explained the significance of polymer casings over traditional brass ones. Divine, with a keen interest in military tactics and weaponry, delved into the technical aspects of the murder weapon. The conversation revealed insights into the ongoing testing of the .300 Norma mag round, the manufacturer Warwick Arsenal, and the challenges of deploying a polymer casing in military applications. The discussion pivoted to the crucial question: how did an experimental round from a Georgia-based company end up being used in a murder in Maine? The investigation now encompassed not only the personal tragedy of Jennifer Silkwell's death but also the complexities of military technology and the potential compromise of national security. To facilitate Divine's investigation, Campbell handed him a cred pack, complete with a shiny badge and a proclamation that he was now a special investigator with Homeland Security. Divine, initially surprised, questioned the legitimacy of his newfound role. Campbell, adopting a drill sergeant's tone, reminded him of his past successes in investigations and the importance of rising to the challenge. As the conversation delved into the intricacies of the murder weapon, military protocols, and the urgency of discreetly handling the investigation, Campbell stressed the need for secrecy. The potential repercussions of involving the FBI and the importance of preserving the nation's image loomed large. With Divine now armed with a cover story and a mission, the meeting concluded with a sense of urgency and purpose. The former Ranger was entrusted with unraveling the mystery behind Jennifer Silkwell's murder, protecting national security interests, and navigating the complexities of the case. The narrative concluded with Divine preparing to embark on his journey to Putnam, Maine, where he would not only face the challenges of a murder investigation but also navigate the intricate web of espionage, personal ties, and the potential threats to national security. The stage was set for a mission that would test Divine's skills, determination, and ability to navigate the blurred lines between duty and personal connections in the world of covert operations.